So, hi everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. If you haven't been to a Zoom webinar before, your camera and microphone are off. If you have any questions, please do put them in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. You can also use the chat feature to talk to us and the other participants. And if you really have a question that you want to ask out loud, you can click on raise your hand and we'll unmute you towards the end of the webinar. So yeah, if you have any questions, put them in the chat or the Q&A box. And thank you so much for being here. Frank, back to you.
Yeah, everyone, thank you again for attending. We really appreciate it. About Vinteum software, if you're not familiar with our company, we've been in the property management company software space for about going on 10 years now, since 2014. We basically got famous for our neighbors communication software, where we help HOAs and condos increase communication and transparency within their communities. But over this last year, we released our second software product for inspections called Inspections by Vinteum. So this is a really great, powerful tool. If you don't have any software product you're using for inspections, this could be a very valuable tool for you. Or maybe you have an old, outdated system which really isn't working for you anymore. We'd love for you to go ahead and try out Inspections by Vinteum. So today's webinar will be focusing on improving efficiency and accuracy in your inspections. And we'll be walking you through exactly how to perform inspections utilizing our software. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll go ahead and jump into it. Again, as Leila mentioned, if you do have any questions, feel free to use that Q&A button. All right, so right here is going to be the login page for Inspections by Vinteum. Simple, modern. If you don't already have an account yet, you're more than welcome to go ahead and start a free trial. Go ahead and click on the free trial button, input your information, and then you do get 15 days of unlimited inspections. So you could certainly try it out, and I definitely recommend it. And then going back in here, it looks like we already have a chat. Oh, that's just you, Leila. All right, no worries. All right, so going in, I'm going to go ahead and sign into my account. So right here is going to be the front page after logging in. This is where all the different features are located within the portal. At the top left-hand side, I do have my image there, as you can see, because I am the account owner of this system. And as the account owner, I can have additional people within my company that I can go ahead and delegate inspections to, which I'll go ahead and walk you through the different profiles in this system. But the first feature that it comes to is inspections. So right here, I can go ahead and see if I do have any pending inspections, if I have any that are currently in progress, previously completed inspections, and then I do have my archived inspections here if I need them as well. And then the next tab here will be entitled Managers. So as the account owner, I can assign managers to the system really easily. So if you want to add any colleagues to the system, you can certainly do so very easily. Go ahead and create to add a new person into the system, enter in their name. I'll go ahead and add Tom Jones to the system, enter in their phone number, and then email. And then after you add their email and go ahead and click on save, this will send them an invite so they can create a login to the system. And then the next item here is inspectors. So that will be kind of the lowest on the profile list. So inspectors won't have the ability to create managers or other inspectors within the system, but they will be able to create inspections. So same thing with adding in managers, you can go ahead and add them to the system by clicking create new, and you can have them in for a certain amount of time. And if you do want to go ahead and remove them from the system, you can easily do so by clicking disable inspector. So they'll no longer be able to log into your system. And then the next item is templates. So this feature here kind of allows you to sort of customize your inspections. As you can see here, the first item here is entitled items. So this will basically be the basic building blocks for your inspections. As you can see, I have blinds here, carpet, doors, exhaust system, basically the individual small items that I will be inspecting during my inspections. And these items can all be added into individual sections. So when I click on sections, you can see the different sections that I pre-populated here. But you can add any number of items to this system or any number of sections that you perform for your inspections. So you can see I have my bathroom, bedroom, etc. here. And then each one of these sections have individual items populated here. So if I wanted to go ahead and create a new section, click on create new, click save, and then I would go ahead and add individual items into that section. And click on publish and create section. And then after creating those sections, you can now add them into templates. So template is the overall view of the inspection that you will be performing. So for example, my apartment inspection, common area, house, and outdoor areas. And then each of these individual templates have their own sections, which each of those sections have their own items within them. So it just allows you to go ahead and pre-populate these templates just to go ahead and make creating your inspections more easy to start and more efficient. If I wanted to go ahead and create a new template, click on create new, enter the template name, click save, and then you would go ahead and add individual sections directly into those templates and click on publish. Click create template, and then it'll go ahead and create there. And then the next feature here will be entitled process. So this is basically how you would go ahead and show clients the key aspects of the inspection. So this is your basically general reasoning behind the inspection, basically to let your client know step-by-step process of what you're doing for each individual type of inspection. And these processes will be added to your final and official reports after the inspection is completed. So for example, move out inspection, the reason you're doing that move out inspection, all the information listed there, and my other types of processes such as regular inspection, house inspection, general, CC&Rs, facility maintenance, etc. So go ahead and create a new process, click on the create new button, choose the process type, and then enter the description. So specifically how you would like to populate this to be added onto your official reports after your inspections are completed. The next feature here is just your account settings. So you can easily adjust the photo size that you want added to your official reports. You can adjust the photo positions. So if you like them at the end of each section or at the end of each item within the report. If you'd like to add days to observation after the official report is created, you can go ahead and add that. And then under functionalities, we do have the ability to generate QR codes for each individual section. So think about it, if you have a facilities maintenance manager that needs to inspect the gym, you can actually create a QR code outside the gym. So when the facilities maintenance manager needs to inspect the gym, they can go ahead and snap that QR code, and then they already have that section populated for them to go ahead and inspect. So a really easy and efficient way to go ahead and start your inspections. Then under my profile here, I can go ahead and add my business information or personal information. I can have my picture or my company logo here if I'd like, my information. All this will be added to my official report. And then you can go ahead and have your digital signature here. So this is an e-signature. You wouldn't have to download the report and manually sign it. It'll just automatically be populated here. So when I do create my report, my signature will automatically be added to it, making it much easier and more efficient. And click on save. And then under Help Center right here, this will go ahead and take you to all of our different help articles from account setup to the different tutorials, actually showing you how to utilize the different inspection features. You can go ahead and send us a quick question if you do have any questions while utilizing the system. We usually respond with under about 5 minutes if it's between 9 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. And then you could also search through our help center here for specific questions that you might have. But now I'm going to go ahead and show you how you would actually create and start an inspection. So under inspections, I'm going to go ahead and click on new. I can go ahead and delegate the inspections to a manager or an inspector within the system, or I can go ahead and do it myself. So for this specific inspection, I'm going to go ahead and do it as if I'm like the facilities maintenance guy within my condominium, and I'll be inspecting some of the common areas. So for this segment type, I'll go ahead and put property, the type, I'm going to be inspecting the common areas, and then type of process. So earlier I mentioned you can add a specific process type to your official reports. I'd go ahead and add that here. So this will be a facility maintenance inspection, and then the inspection date. So I can pre-schedule inspections for a later date if I'd like, or just go ahead and put for today. I can add an additional description of the inspection if I'd like. So any additional information I would like to appear on my report. If it's a house inspection, like a pre-listing inspection, you can go ahead and determine that. If it's a recurring inspection, you can go ahead and add that information. So this is like a facility maintenance inspection that maybe you need to have done on a weekly or monthly basis. You can easily add that. So it will remind you in the system when that inspection needs to be performed again. Go ahead and put the address for the location of the item you will be inspecting. Go ahead and add this really quick. And then right here, you can go ahead and add stakeholders and signatories to the report. So when you do add their individual information here, after you finish the inspection, it will send them an email to go ahead and add their signature to the report. So if you're doing an in-unit inspection and you need the owner's information here and you need their signature, you can go ahead and add it here. Maybe there's a tenant within the unit, you want to go ahead and add their information, you can do so as the primary residence. But since I'm going to be inspecting the common area of my HOA, maybe I want to go ahead and send this to the HOA president. So I'll go ahead and put John's information, who is the HOA president. So after adding their email, it will send them this report after and ask for their signature. I'm sorry, it's a little bit hard to type and talk at the same time for me. And then I can go and put their stakeholder details so that maybe they are the HOA president. And then go ahead and click on request inspection. So now that inspection becomes pending. It has not yet been started. I can go ahead and start it at any time, or I can go ahead and delegate it to the other managers or inspectors within the system. So I can go ahead and view on the map exactly where the item is located. So this is a kind of an integration with Google Maps or Waze. You can go ahead and see that directly on the map location. Just click on that. That'll go ahead and appear here. I can go ahead and forgo the use of templates by clicking skip setup, and I can go ahead and just quickly start the inspection. But I do want to go ahead and utilize those specific templates that I pre-built. So I'd go ahead and click on start inspection. And then these are my templates that are pre-populated here, as you can see. So for this inspection, I want to go ahead and utilize the common area template, which has the different sections for the gym and the game room, and those will be what I am inspecting today. I'm just going to be inspecting one gym, one game room. So obviously, if this is, maybe if you're inspecting a condominium that has 10 different units, you would go ahead and put the different individual units or the number of areas within that item you're inspecting. You can go ahead and add meters here. So if you need to be inspecting the different meters on the property, such as the electric, gas, or water meter, you can add those to your report. And then for the inspection, will you be needing any keys for them, any property keys or gate keys? I'll go ahead and add one of those items to the report and click on begin inspection. So now I'm going to go ahead and start the inspection. All these different tiles are populated here. I would have to go through each individual tile before I can officially submit the inspection. So I can go ahead and click on sections here to start going through those individual sections, such as the gym. So as I'm walking through the gym, keep in mind, so right now I'm showing you the desktop version, but we do also have our iOS and Android application. So of course you could be doing the inspection directly from your smartphone app. And then all this information is cloud-based and it will also be stored here within your desktop version as well. So while you're walking through the gym, you can obviously inspect the different items. So for example, the Stairmaster, I can say if it's in perfect condition or if there's an issue with it, I can go ahead and put that it does require maintenance. I can go ahead and put the priority level, whether it's high, medium, or low, a specific maintenance date that I needed to have it completed by. I can put an individual that I need who will be responsible for the maintenance. I can put an estimated amount of cost to fix the item and then add the state of the item, go ahead and input the condition. If you do have the iOS and Android app, you can actually utilize the voice to text feature. So you can just provide your notes here just by communicating within the app, and it'll go ahead and automatically populate those notes here. So you would not have to type those out. Then you can also add attachments associated with that item as well. And then go ahead and click on save information. I'm just going to go ahead and say that it does not need any maintenance and that it is in perfect condition. Same thing with the weight bench. I'm just going to go ahead and say that's in perfect condition. Or the next item here is the floor. Maybe there's an issue with the floor that I notice. I can go ahead and input that state. I can go ahead and add an attachment associated with it, which I already do have pre-saved in my computer. And then it's just one floorboard that's cracked. It does require maintenance. The priority level is medium. Maintenance date, you can go ahead and put whatever date there. There's a cost associated with it that you would recommend, or who is responsible for the maintenance. You can input that and click on Save Information. And then just going through each individual tile, if for some reason the treadmill doesn't exist or you don't need to inspect it, you can easily remove it. And then go through the rest of the items in order to finish off the gym component. If there's an issue with the garbage, obviously you can input the trash is overflowing as an example. All this information will be added to the official report. Lighting, we'll go ahead and say it's in perfect condition as well. So now those items are completed. I have finished the gym tile. The next one here will be my game room, and same thing. I'd have to go through each individual item and inspect them prior to publishing this section. So I'm going to go ahead and say that these are in perfect working condition. I can add more attachments if I need to as well. Click save. And then ping pong table, again, I'll go ahead and say this is in perfect working condition. So now I have finished these two individual items, but while I'm in this section, while I'm in these common areas, maybe there's some different items I want to add to this, I can easily do so. So even though this is a predetermined template, I can add to the templates at any point in time by clicking on add, and this will allow me to add individual sections here. So I can add any of these individual sections directly to it, or I can go ahead and create a new section as well, add a new name for the section and add that to the report and click on publish. So for example, I want to add this recreational area to this report, I can easily do so. And then within the recreational area, I can go through each individual tile as well. But I don't really necessarily need this, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Click on save and publish. So now I've finished the individual sections within this inspection. And at any point in time, you can go ahead and download and create a partial report. So maybe if I'm, walking through the common area and I want to go ahead and finish the inspection at a later date, I can go ahead and generate a partial report by clicking on the PDF here. And do I want to include the photos in the report? Yes. So now that will go ahead and create that partial report. So it'll show all the items I have up until that point. So now say I left the common area and tomorrow I want to go ahead and finish this from my desktop, I can re-log into the system and continue this inspection. But just to show you with the other tiles here, I can go ahead and select the keys and controls. Property keys, I can notify them that the condition of the keys, how many I have, any of the different control panels, I can input information about that. I could add images if necessary and add that to the report. And then responsible, so this would be a tile to go ahead and add information about a responsible person who's walking with you during the inspection. So if you're a home inspector and the actual homeowner is walking with you directly during the inspection, or a supervisor, anyone that is observing the inspection while you're doing it, you can go ahead and add their information to the report, or if unnecessary, you can go ahead and remove that item from the report right here. That item is required. So I'll go ahead and add the person that is responsible. So I'll go ahead and add the owner of the unit's information, J, add their email and phone number. And go ahead and click on publish responsible person, go back here. And then any additional signatures. So I'm going to go ahead and add my signature here, but if I want to add additional signatures to the report, I can easily do so by clicking add. I can add any additional information about the property. So any additional notes that I would like to add or a specific description of the property, I can add those items to the official report. And then when I click on reports, I can go ahead and view that sample report that I created halfway through. But now that I have gone through each individual tile and completed them, I can submit my inspection. After submitting it, I can go ahead and input, I can go ahead and send it to the signatories to go ahead and have them e-sign it. Yes. So now they will be sent an email letting them know that I need their e-signature on the official report. So that pretty much takes you through how you would go ahead and do the inspection. I do want to go ahead and pull up a report for you. So after I click on done here, I'll go ahead and see the item that I just did. And then I'll go ahead and click on report. And I can see the partial report I created, a summarized report, or that full report here. And as I scroll through, you can go ahead and see my information, my business information, the type of reports, the inspection data, and then the stakeholders within the inspection about the specific process. So earlier I mentioned that process that you would predefine and have them added to your reports. You can have them added here and then just walk through each individual item that I inspected. So right here, the floorboard was cracked, the priority is medium, that other information here, the other items that I inspected, I can see the images, as I mentioned, that I attached to this report, and just to scroll through and show you the rest of the report. Now, after I completed my inspection, all these different items will be added to my dashboard. So on the left-hand side, you will go ahead and be able to see all the data associated with all of your reports. So under scheduled inspections, I can see the inspections that are coming up, tomorrow's inspection, information about tomorrow's inspection, or to go ahead and filter, I can go ahead and see all of my inspections. So right now I just see the ones that are pending, but if I want, I can go ahead and add all of my inspections here. So everyone that I've ever created, I can edit the columns if I want to remove any of these different columns, and I can also export all this information. If I want to go ahead and search for all the items completed at one specific address, I can. I can go ahead and search through all the different maintenance requests. So all the different inspections that I do have that have items that need to be maintained, if they need to be fixed, their information would be added here. You can see the number of items requiring maintenance, and if there is a cost associated with that. And then you can go ahead and see your signature request as well. So which reports are requesting a signature, and I can go ahead and filter through that as well. If I want to go ahead and see all of my reports that are pending e-signature, if they have not been completed yet. As you can see, that report I just created, it is still pending signature. So that takes you through our newest feature dashboard. It just kind of allows you to go ahead and filter through all the data associated with your reports. So that pretty much takes you through our inspections tool. If you want to learn more, I would recommend going to learn.vinteum.io/inspections. Here you can go and sign up for a free account. As I mentioned, we do have a 15-day free trial. You can see some information about our tool. It's simple to use, easy to change, fast to scale your business. Some of the features at a glance, personalized templates, as I mentioned. You can track your inspections, and we do have a very flexible process for the individual inspections. And then going into our pricing information, I just wanted to go ahead and just mention really quickly, we do have our plans available on both a monthly or annual option. So if you're interested, this is the pricing information for those. But we do actually have a really good deal going on right now for any of our new clients. We're actually offering our lifetime deal. So you can either start on a monthly basis, or you can go ahead and sign up for our lifetime deal. Normally, we do charge these amounts on an annual basis, but we are going ahead and providing a lifetime deal where you can sign up for 1 year and you would get a lifetime access to this system. So if you're just one inspector and you do up to 30 inspections per month, for $250, you will have unlimited use for life of this system. If you're a larger company that does a ton of different inspections, you can go ahead and sign up for $1,500 for a one-time payment and have unlimited use of this system. All right, and I'll go ahead and leave the floor to Leila if you want to go ahead and add anything about inspections, or we can go ahead and jump into a Q&A.
We don't have any questions currently. I think you covered everything. We do have that exclusive deal. So for you guys who are here with us now, you would get a lifetime deal to Inspections by Vinteum. It's an incredible offer. So do get in touch with us. I've included our information here. I realized we didn't properly introduce ourselves at the start. So my name's Leila. I'm the head of marketing, and Frank here is our account executive. So I've left our emails, our phone numbers. You are extension 2, right, Frank? I think it's extension 2. So good. I've included my extension as well, and the website that Frank mentioned, learn.vinteum.io/inspections. If you have any questions that you want to ask us either now or later, you can get in touch with us there, and we'll be sending you the recording, the lifetime deal, and yeah, I think that's it, the recording.
Yeah, and again, you could try this out directly from the desktop, or you can go ahead and download our app on both the Android and Apple stores. You can go ahead and access it there. And so you can do unlimited inspections with our free trial as well. So I certainly recommend trying it out on your own, but also sign up for that live demo so I can actually learn about your company, your specific needs, and how this tool can be customized specifically to your business. I'd be happy to do that with you.
Exactly. All right, no questions have come through, so I think we'll let everyone go. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for spending this time with us, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Bye.